Good morning, everyone. How are we doing? Thank you so much for watching the video. Appreciate you tuning into another weekly watch list. This is going to be my watch list for this upcoming week in the market with SPY, QQQ, IWM, as well as SPX, ES, and NQ. Now, I do not trade SPX, NQ, or ES, but I use them as confluence when trading SPY and QQQ, and it is extremely helpful. So I definitely recommend, if you are not doing that and you trade the indexes like SPY and QQQ, you definitely should be watching SPX, ES, and NQ while actively trading those and charting them as well. So because I've been trading QQQ so much lately, I've just been a fan of how it moves, especially how the contracts move as well. I'm going to be starting off with that first, okay? So looking at QQQ, right, on the 4 hour here, we have supply up at all-time high, but we really need to get out of this range that we're in right now. As you can see, we're kind of going back and forth between this range here, this demand zone, and then this supply zone up here. This was previous supply I had marked off in a previous watch list, but now it has simply just become like, previous day high. But you easily could just mark this off as an entire supply zone. However, we do have some closes above it. So because of it, I have just moved it over to just a previous day high, right? So for those that are new or haven't watched my videos before, you know that I'm always marking previous day low, previous day high in white, and then any support and resistance for supply and demand is green and red. But so as you can see over here was a previous day high, supply zone, came and rejected it 1, 2, 3, 4 times now, okay? So I'm really waiting for QQQ just to get out of this. With the way that SPY has been moving, it wouldn't surprise me if we get above it. And if we do get above it, then the next target's going to be up here at this all-time high supply. So we do have this demand zone in QQQ. I may or may not rechart this here, this supply, this 4 hour supply. I mean, it's pretty clear. But again, like I said, we already have, it'll be a little bit messy on the chart to have all that kind of zone go all the way down here. If I go down to the 2 hour and 1 hour, I just want to see how it looks on that as well. So this would be the 1 hour zone. Again, as you can see, many wicks up into that zone, but I just don't want to clog up the chart. Rather just keep it as a previous day high. And then it's also a 1 hour supply zone as well. Not as strong on the 1 hour, still a bigger candle, but not as aggressive. As far as other levels go, we do have demand. Oops, one sec. On the 2 hour and 1 hour here. So on the 1 hour first, I am doing the wicks as well for demand. So you're going to be testing it out this upcoming week. We did kind of come very close to it. It did hit on NQ, but on QQQ it was very close. So the top of this 1 hour demand wick is where we bounced earlier in the week. So this is going to be the previous day low here, this zone here. But below that, we have all this demand, right? So as far as like what level would be the most strong, it probably would be down here. Like if we were really to come down and bounce, like break through all these, because here what we have is this 1 hour wick, and then we have 1 hour body, which is right here at 488.69. And then we have 2 hour demand is the last wick. So this last wick here is going to be 2 hour demand on the body here at 489. I could do another level here at the wick at the 2 hour, but I just feel like it's too much. We'll have a bounce somewhere in here. Price action will confirm it. But if we do come all the way down and push through some of these levels here, the next bounce would be here at 488, 490, or 487.95 exactly, right? This is something I would keep on watch if we did break below this and I was taking like a break and retest short. I would keep this on the chart as a potential profit target. These pivots right here in the pre-market, and then this was intraday. These would be strong price targets for sure, especially at this 486. So that's going to be everything I'm watching on QQQ. NQ obviously looks the same. So if I go to NQ, again, it's just going to be, stuck between this supply and demand. Below that, I do have more 2 hour demand down here at 2050, 20,054. And then below that, which is even further away down, I do have even more demand down here at this 19,976.72 level. So that's going to be QQQ and NQ heading over to SPY and ES. Let's pull those up on the chart. We're obviously trading back here at all-time highs. So I am going to be watching these fibs here. We did reject the first one already. So from this swing high to this swing low, Fibonacci extension, we did come up on SPY and reject this. What the heck did I just do there? We did reject it pretty close. So on SPX, we did hit it to a T. I'll show you that in a second. but it was right around this 580 whole cycle, and it was as obvious it could get. I mean, all-time high coming up 580 just seemed like it would be the spot for a reject. But as far as levels go, I'd like to see this hold this 574.57, okay, to continue higher if we do get a pullback here. Below that, let's see any supply and demand. I know I have a couple. I just can't always remember which time frames they're on. I get supply and demand on 4 hour, 2 hour, and 1 hour, sometimes 30-minute, and then also sometimes daily. But let's see here on the 2 hour, we do have 2 hour demand here at 572. So if we do break below this level here, that would be my next bounce. If we do get above 580, we're just looking at continuation. Maybe 585 next whole cycle, but then all the way up here at 600 is that 161 fib extension, which is insane. Let's head over to ES. So as far as ES goes, same look, right? Have demand here at 57.92, and also demand here at this level here, this 58.21. I can't remember if that's 1 hour, 2 hour, or 4 hour. Let's double check. It's not 4 hour. It might be 30-minute actually. One sec. I think it was 30-minute. That was the one thing I wanted to cover. No, I mean somewhat. This is a somewhat more aggressive candle, but not really that strong. Oh, this is the 10-minute, of course. I was gonna say it does not look like what I thought I had. Yeah, here it is. So it's a 30-minute. So on ES, I do have this 30-minute demand that I'm watching. So I just want to quickly put a level here real quick. So this 30-minute demand is going to be the first area of a bounce that I'm looking at. Come on, man. What the heck? What the heck? Look at this. Now my computer is going super slow. All right. Anyways, 30-minute demand here. If we do keep pulling back here, I do have this potential pivot here as a place where we could hold or bounce. So if we do break below, this 30-minute demand looks good. And then, of course, below that, I have another demand at 57.93. So that's going to be watching on ES with the confluence with SPY. And then let's go over to SPX and IWM. So over on SPX, same thing. One thing I always do, which I've shown in previous videos, is I'm always marking out previous day high, right, and previous day low. So I'm going to actually put this up here real quick. This is the previous day high. I did not mark that one out on Friday. Now, this is where I said earlier with the Fibonacci extension, right? We hit it to a T. So if we go to the daily here, we took this pivot high to this pivot low. We had the 127 and the 161. We came up on SPX and we rejected it perfectly. Here's that 127 right here, this 58.18. Perfect reject. Got back over it later, but then fell right below. So we may or may not keep it on the chart this week. We'll see. But again, I'll be watching previous day high, previous day low for SPX. I do have a potential pivot here at 57.96. So let's head over to the hourly. So that was just this wick here. So that could be another pivot area. You definitely could look for a fib here as well. I'll probably chart these real quick. From Friday's move, it was such an aggressive move. So if we do get a pullback, we could look somewhere at the 50.61 potential bounce, and it obviously lines up with this wick as well. This whole zone here could be a nice place for a bounce. So I'll be keeping that on the chart. And then lastly, we can wrap up with IWM. So IWM finally broke this massive channel, and it broke it with strength. And the last time it did that, had a really nice move up. We had this channel here beautifully, smashed it, and continued up significantly higher. Let's see, we smashed out of it from 202 to like 207 before it started, or actually 214 for any like red candle. So, I mean, that's a $12 move. So we could almost say like, okay, if we break out of it here at 218, hell, we could see 230 before any sort of, move back down, but I think that's probably unlikely. But we have this break here of this channel. So we had another channel here, right, that we just broke out of. So if you're a swing trader, you can consider taking a trade here. As far as supply and demand, I do have 4 hour supply up here, this 223 down to 221. And that's just above the previous day high. So I will be watching that. You will see that I do have a lot of these pivots here. Just because with such a massive move we had on IWM, we did clear out a lot of previous day highs. And without retesting many of them, we did, and I did have a nice play with this on Friday, a retest of this level here at 220. And that was my play for the day on Friday for calls. I believe it was that level. Yeah, let's see. think it was this one here. Yeah, we had a really nice hold at this level here, this 220 area, this 219.61. This was my play here. Price action confirmed here. Rode this up. I think I was fully out somewhere up here, like the top of this doji here. So I definitely did not, hold it long enough, but I'm sure plenty of people can relate to that. But again, we blasted through a lot of these previous day highs. So I'm going to keep them on the chart for potential pivots on the way back down if we do get any sort of pullback, okay? So previous day high, previous day low, that's where I'm always marking things on IWM or for all the indexes, right? And as far as supply and demand, like I said, we do have this supply zone up here at 223. And then as far as demand goes, I don't really have anything outside of this, big zone here that I've had for a while, at, let's see, 214. So looking at the daily real quick, let's see here. Again, very strong move. I would say, again, we do have this ginormous daily supply up here, but I'm not going to mark it because it'd be such a fucking massive zone. So really, if we keep getting above this demand here, my play for IWM is like if we get above this 223, yes, we have these previous day highs here, but my next reject would probably be up here at this 228. That's obvious. That's the most obvious price target on the chart. So that's going to wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider dropping a like, dropping a comment, or subscribing. Appreciate you very, very much. Hope you have a great week inside and outside the markets, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.